Tonight, Melbourne under siege. City streets turn into a war zone as thousands of protesters clash with riot police and accost delegates trying to get into an international military expo. The violent behaviour of demonstrators widely condemned.
I want to say how appalled I am at the conduct of a large amount of the protesters.
Police sprayed with acid and attacked with rocks during the wild brawls, with more than 30 protesters arrested. We have special live coverage. Also tonight, the presidential showdown the world had been waiting for. Donald Trump and Kamala Harris go head-to-head in a fiery debate which didn't disappoint. We break down what it means for November's US election. Justice for the victims of the wedding bus crash. The driver apologises to the families as he's sentenced to 32 years behind bars. Not so awesome. An Australian Olympic legend pleads for the return of his precious medals stolen from his car. We have a late development. And Hawks fans have that finals feeling. Hundreds flock to cheer on players at the only open training session ahead of Friday's clash.
It was a wet and stormy day in Melbourne. I'll have all your weather details coming up later in the bulletin.
Made in Melbourne. This is 10 News First with Jennifer Keyte.
Good evening. First tonight, Melbourne's streets have descended into chaos as more than 1,000 angry protesters clashed with police, injuring officers, lighting fires and attacking police horses. They rallied in opposition to a weapons expo being held in the city. But their message was lost in their own violence and rage against its delegates and heavily armed police. The Chief Commissioner describing them as hypocrites. We have a team covering today's mayhem. Samantha Butler begins our coverage.
Protesters gathered in the city, claiming to want peace, but only bringing violence. They rallied against a weapons expo being held at the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre, yet hurled their own at officers and assaulted delegates as they tried to get into the venue. Police are trying to contain protesters on both ends of the Spencer Street Bridge, and the situation has just escalated again, with police charging forward, pushing the protesters away from the convention centre. Victoria Police, backed by reinforcements from New South Wales, were pelted with rocks, bottles, horse manure and sprayed with acid. Officers fought back with capsicum spray, batons, flash distraction devices and non-lethal munitions. As police formed a wall and tried to force the group across the Yarra River, protesters created a barricade and set wheelie bins and skips on fire. The violence resulted in dozens of arrests and 24 officers were injured.
They come here to protest against anti-war, so presumably anti-violence. The only way I can describe them is a bunch of hypocrites.
He says the protesters were intent on injuring police.
My police officers have my full support for the way they've conducted themselves.
Politicians condemned the group.
There is the right to protest peacefully, of course, but to behave in such a disgraceful way towards members of Victoria Police who are there doing their job.
The protests that we're seeing in Melbourne today are a disgrace.
A sentiment shared by one of the Lord mayoral candidates.
I'm not here to comment on the content of the protest. I'm here to say that today's protests have gone too far.
And while the expo went ahead, those inside were perplexed.
They should go home. You know, all they're doing is creating drama and trouble. Defence industry is integral in keeping our people safe. The role of the Australian Defence Force is to fight in and win our wars, and we need defence industry to be able to do that.
Samantha Butler for 10 News First.
And Samantha Butler joins us live now from South Wharf. Sam, what's the situation there now?
Well, Jen, it's a drastically different situation down here now compared to the chaos we saw this morning. The protesters have all dispersed and gone home, but as you can see behind me, there is still a police presence blocking access to the convention centre. Ralliers had planned to protest again tonight, but we know that is now not the case. I've spoken with organisers who say they are instead planning to rest and regroup ahead of tomorrow. We know today's protest was expected to be the largest demonstration of the week, but we certainly haven't seen the last of these activists. They say they are determined to continue to cause disruption over the next 2 days of the Land Forces Military Expo.
OK, thank you, Sammy. And Abby Dinham joins us live now from Victoria Police Headquarters. Abby, dozens of protesters have been charged and dozens of police have been injured.
That's right, Jen. You heard a short snippet of the police commissioner a little earlier issuing some damning words to protesters, saying the very fact many turned up in goggles and full face masks show that they were intent on violence. 24 police officers required medical attention after today's events for things like strains, sprains, and some required decontamination after being sprayed with acid. He said a police horse was attacked and punched, and all manner of missiles were thrown at officers, including a beer bottle and a tin of baked beans. 39 protesters have been arrested and charged with a number of different offences, including assault police, hinder, obstruct and arson. The boss of the police union also had some strong words for the protesters who attacked his members.
Hundreds of our members are out on the front line today dealing with a group of dirty, filthy, disgusting animals who have simply come to Melbourne today to cause havoc. And I'll tell you now, you could not pay them enough to do the work that they're being asked to do today. Thank God we've got them keeping Melbourne safe.
Police have been unsuccessfully negotiating for a pay rise for over 12 months now. After today's events, they'll no doubt be looking to escalate it. Jen? OK, thank you, Abby. A member of State Parliament has been accused of shirking her public duties by skipping out on Parliament to attend today's wild protest. Greens MP Gabrielle de Vietri says she was there representing her community and is calling for an inquiry into what she describes as excessive force by police.
The member for Richmond turned member for protest.
I'm going to go there, show my support, talk to some people.
Greens MP Gabrielle de Vietri skipped part of a parliamentary sitting day, lending her support to a demonstration which at times turned violent.
The real violence is inside that convention centre where we've got bombs and missiles.
Her attendance earning bipartisan ire.
If the member for Richmond can't turn up and do her job as an elected member of Parliament, she should hand back the keys to her office.
That the member for Richmond should not be serving in this Victorian Parliament.
But despite the ugly scenes playing out on the streets of Melbourne, Ms de Vietri maintained the backing of her leader.
We see members and ministers attending events and meetings during Parliament sitting days all of the time, and this is no different.
The Greens have referred the conduct of police at the protest to the state's corruption watchdog.
Police have tools and training to de-escalate in protests. Police have actually a response. Well, they have them. I'm not a police officer.
That's rubbish. We have conducted ourselves appropriately.
While there is an expectation that MPs show up here while Parliament is sitting, there's no specific requirement or penalty for them skipping out what's essentially a work day.
You expect members to attend Parliament, what they are paid to do.
In this case, paid more than $200,000 a year. Patrick Murrell for 10 News First.
And we'll have more on today's protest a little later. Well, Kamala Harris wants another debate against Donald Trump after several media outlets named her the victor over the former president in Pennsylvania. In the pair's first meeting, Harris goaded and poked, while Trump lashed out at the nation's immigration and economic woes. US correspondent Catherine Firkin reports.
She was a woman on a mission.
Kamala Harris.
After meeting for the first time, Kamala Harris hit where it hurts.
He talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom.
She called Donald Trump weak and wrong and brought up his egotism.
These dictators and autocrats are rooting for you to be president again because they're so clear they can manipulate you with flattery and favors.
And while Trump struggled to answer questions about his healthcare policies,
just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan.
I have concepts of a plan.
He fired up when talking about the economy.
I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation perhaps in the history of our country.
What's clear from the debate is that voters have two very different choices for who they want in the White House. While Kamala Harris is promising a new way forward, Donald Trump wants to accomplish much of what he couldn't during his term, which was largely sidetracked by the global pandemic. Perhaps the most bizarre moment came during a heated back and forth on immigration.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats.
He was checked immediately.
And ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured or abused by individuals.
And while both candidates claimed victory,
Now she wants to do another one because she got beaten tonight.
Okay, today was a good day. We got to work tomorrow.
there can be only one winner come November. Catherine Firkin for 10 News First, Washington, DC.
And in the wake of the debate, political pundits will be analysing what impact it has actually had, especially in the swing states, which are crucial to the chances of Harris or Trump winning the election. Here's our National Affairs editor, Hugh Remington.
The curious thing about this debate is that one candidate is still fighting the last election that he still claims he won.
There's so much proof. All you have to do is look at it.
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. Clearly, he is having a very difficult time processing that.
The moderators kept Trump on a tight leash.
Her vice presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month is absolutely fine. He also says execution after birth. It's execution, no longer abortion, because the baby is born, is okay.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to get your response to President Trump.
Well, as I said, you're going to hear a bunch of lies.
The tone was tart.
She was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out, wait a minute, I'm talking now, if you don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar?
Trump worked to tie Harris to the aging president.
She is Biden.
She worked to slip the knot.
Clearly, I am not Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald Trump. And what I do offer is a new generation of leadership for our country.
Tellingly, when Trump honed in on a Democrat weakness, illegal immigration, she changed the subject.
People start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom.
He took the bait.
People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics.
Trump is claiming victory.
Best debate. I thought it was very good. I thought she was very weak on foreign policy.
Harris is claiming Taylor Swift, the superstar, endorsing the Democrat hopeful. 55 days now to go.
The driver behind the wheel of a wedding bus that crashed, killing 10 people, has sobbed in court and says he cannot forgive himself. Brett Button has been sentenced to at least 24 years jail, meaning he'll be in his 80s before he's eligible for release.
For days, their grief has consumed a court, though their heartache will last forever.
I don't know about other people. They might find that this is a closure for them. But my niece was only 22. She had so many more years to live.
They knew, raised and loved Darcy Bullman, Rebecca Mullen, Zach Bray, couple Andrew Scott and Lynn Scott, Tori Calburn, Angus Craig, mother and daughter Nadine McBride and Kaya McBride, and Kaya's partner Kane Simons. All 10 lives stolen in last year's horror bus crash at Greta. Their driver was painkiller dependent Brett Button. He'll now serve at least 24 years behind bars.
Addiction is a disease, I'll admit that. But no matter what, he was still responsible for all those lives.
It shows that they mattered
Hours earlier, in a courtroom filled with those he's hurt most, a shaking Button wept, "I'm sorry, but how do you say you're sorry for such a horrible, tragic event that has ruined the lives of hundreds of people? I can't forgive myself. I hate myself. I never meant to hurt anyone in my entire life, and now I've committed the ultimate sin." Button admits he'd taken too much of opioid painkiller tramadol on the day of the tragedy. He'd also been going too fast. In the words of a district court judge of 21 years, "I've never dealt with, seen or even read about a case that involved anywhere near the same extent of extraordinary devastation." At one point, the judge interjected with his own questions about Button's understanding of why doctors were concerned about his use of tramadol, especially when driving. Button said he'd been using it for so long, he never felt affected by it. But the sentencing judge says Button abandoned his responsibility to his passengers, and for that he's been jailed for a maximum of 32 years.
We want people to remember them as loving, kind, caring people that they were.
Alice Hogg for 10 News First.
Hundreds of Hawthorn fans have flocked to catch a glimpse of the team's final training session before its semi-final against Port Adelaide on Friday night. Confidence is at an all-time high, with some fans going the extra mile to commemorate their finals campaign.
Hawks hysteria has taken over. Fans flocked to Waverley Park to catch a glimpse of their favourite players ahead of Friday's semi-final. Confidence flying high.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good. They look like they're going to win on Friday.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a good chance because of all the supporters coming to their training.
They just fill us with so much joy. It's been amazing. What a ride. You know, we're not finished yet.
Others are going the extra mile. Tomorrow, Good Marks Tattoos is offering free ink to die-hard fans at the Grandview Hotel.
I don't know, these designs are just really fun to do. So for me, I get to tattoo, I get to do some really fun pieces and meet some really cool new people as well.
The team's finals push even taking Hawks legend Don Scott by surprise.
I think it's amazing because I thought they'd finish second last. And that's the word, amazing.
Adelaide Oval is already sold out for Friday night's thriller. Thousands of Hawks fans are expected to be in the stadium cheering on their team with a place in the prelim on the line.
If you're a die-hard Hawk, are you with them through thick and thin, riding the bumps, as they say?
And the AFL has announced its lineup for Grand Final Day. Christina New and Mike Brady will perform, with Cody Simpson singing the national anthem.
This is what it's been all about the last 13, 14 weeks. This is what it's been about. Why not us? Go Hawks!
Jack Perry for 10 News First.
And now here's a very excited Stephen previewing sport.
Thank you, Jen. The Hawks turn to a 9-gamer to replace the injured Sam Frost for Friday night semi against the Power. The AFL journeyman who's keeping his premiership dream alive. Another bad night for the Socceroos. Australia's winning start to the Davis Cup finals. And the latest from the Storm camp as they prepare for their qualifying final against the Sharks.
Thank you, Stephen. Coming up in 10 News First. Drew Ginn, a member of the Awesome Foursome, has his precious Olympic medal stolen from his car. Barbecues and science lab visits. Plans for King Charles' trip down under next month revealed.
Showers and storms are sweeping across Melbourne tonight. I'll have all your weather details from the Regent Theatre after the break.
Thank God you're here, Captain.
You too.
Oh my God.
So I actually have vertigo, so this is actually really brave of me.
You're wicked, Erica.
Kids really relate to me rapping.
Walking through the blue door tonight, it's Ray O'Leary, Susie Youssef, Virginia Gay and Lloyd Langford. Thank God you're here. Tonight on 10 and 10 Play.
Beast inside you.
Have a peek at this. Powerball has jackpotted to $12 million. Better get a ticket.
In my fancy shoes.
Bring a smile to school lunchboxes this spring with great fresh specials. Like Australian strawberries 250 grams, bursting with flavour, and now just $1.90 a punnet.
That's today's fresh food people.
It's Jayde How Much Price Madness with crazy deals. Like a whopping $1,000 on this LG 75-inch TV. This Roborock Robovac smashed over $600 off. And get a minimum 20% off HP computers. That's nuts. Seen it cheaper? Ask for a JB deal. JB, you've done it again.
At Foxtel, we're adding even more of what you love. More apps like Apple TV Plus and Stan. And more of the world's hottest entertainment. Foxtel, all in one place.
If you've got a thing for indoor plants, we've got the lowest prices.
Peace Lily, only $19.90. Paloma Pot, just $19.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item will beat it by 10%. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
I'm Nat from O'Brien. These cracks all started as chips. Happens a lot. We replace thousands of windscreens, but a chip repair is faster, cheaper and greener. And with car insurance, your repair is usually free. Book today.
Is the laundry basket stink too much for detergent alone? Pynoclean Platinum Laundry Sanitizer removes 99.9% of odour-causing bacteria. It also leaves 28 days of refreshing fragrance. It's not clean unless it's Pynoclean.
Get behind the wheel with MG's 10-year warranty. It's now on every MG in the range. And that goes for the ZST, now from just $25,990 drive away. Drop into your local MG dealer today.
It's the life-changing question that makes everybody go, wow. Deal or no deal? Wow. Next on 10 and 10 Play.
Are you facing the aftermath of a work injury,
a car accident,
or a painful slip and fall?
We specialise in work cover,
transport accident,
superannuation and public liability claims.
Call 1800 369 888 today.
Good evening, it's Ian from the Carbone Lawyers Traffic Centre. And the wet weather isn't doing the evening commute any favours. To give you an idea, the Monash is slow outbound from the Burnley Tunnel through to Belgrave Hallam Road. Inbound on the Monash, a flat tyre is causing delays before the Domain Tunnel, but delays continue through the tunnel and over the Westgate Bridge due to an incident outbound after Williamstown Road. I'm Ian Dugan in the Carbone Lawyers Traffic Centre. I'll be back with another update shortly.
Awesome foursome rower Drew Genn is appealing for the return of his Olympic medals after they were stolen from his car last week. Police have arrested and charged a 47-year-old Windsor man over the theft, which they have described as a senseless act.
One of Australia's most decorated Olympic athletes now the victim of a heartless crime.
Shocked.
Drew Genn's car was broken into and ransacked at 5 a.m. last Friday in Docklands.
Oh no. Yeah, and your heart sinks.
The rowing champion's 4 Olympic medals were stolen, 3 gold from Atlanta 96, Athens 04, Beijing 08 and a silver from London 2012. Irreplaceable and priceless.
Disappointment about losing something that's 20 years of your sporting career.
He'd left them in the car, having taken them to a school speaking event a week earlier.
I reckon I've been to over 150 schools in 20 odd years. There's got to be 10,000 young kids that have held onto the 96 medal.
Other belongings were stolen from the car, including a wetsuit, a GoPro camera and headphones, as well as a bank card used to buy food and soft drinks across the city. Police arrested a 47-year-old Windsor man this afternoon. He's facing 4 charges, including obtaining property by deception. Detectives are still searching for the medals.
So our main goal is to retrieve those medals for Drew.
For an awesome foursome who did his country proud.
These medals are medals for Australia, and so it's not just you as an athlete representing your country, it's you representing every single person.
Jessica Maggio for 10 News First.
King Charles and Queen Camilla's Australian itinerary has been revealed. They'll arrive on October 18, spending 5 days in Sydney and Canberra. The monarchs will meet cancer researchers, firefighters and politicians. And of course, there'll be a community barbecue.
I will be delighted to welcome their Majesties here. They are both very familiar with Australia. They love Australia.
The King, Queen and Prime Minister will then travel to Samoa for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. The Australian Ballet will return to the stage with a world premiere performance. Jayde Cotic is at the Regent Theatre. Jayde, what can you tell us?
Jen, the worlds of literature and dance will come alive on Friday night when the Australian Ballet performs world premiere of Oscar. Artistic Director David Holberg joins us live. David, thank you for your time. What is Oscar all about?
Oscar is a really compelling ballet about the life and stories of Oscar Wilde. He wrote some beautiful stories, The Portrait of Dorian Gray and The Nightingale and the Rose, which anchors the ballet. But he lived, a very queer identity in Victorian London. He was a married man with 2 children, but he had a homosexual identity that he was persecuted for. So we are really leaning into the story, the beautiful story of Oscar Wilde and the stories that he wrote.
And very quickly, how long is the Australian Ballet performing for?
September 13th through the 24th, a limited run, a really compelling ballet here at the Regent Theatre. We've just moved in. It's a beautiful theatre to perform in.
Thank you so much for your time. No doubt it will be successful. As for the weather today, we hit a high of 20 degrees. Right now it's 13 degrees outside. Showers and storms across the CBD. I'll have more in the 7-day forecast closer to 6, Jen.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jayde. And ahead in 10 News First, more on the chaos that played out in the city's CBD after thousands of protesters clashed with riot police. And disgraced Indigenous leader Jeff Clark to learn his fate after being found guilty of multiple theft and fraud charges.
Ten News First is brought to you by Slater & Gordon. Get what's fair. Contact Slater & Gordon and we'll take it from here.
Where to from here? What's going to happen now? Will your life ever be the same? Are you really getting what's fair, not just what's offered? Talk to Slater & Gordon and we'll take it from here.
It's the life-changing question that makes everybody go, wow. Deal or no deal? Wow. Next on 10 and 10 Play.
Right now at Domino's, there's more choice for everyone with My Domino's Box, the moresome meal for one. Now with 15 mini pizzas and even more sides to choose from. Get more from Domino's.
Girl, I've been so lost, it's like I've been mapless. I know you've not moved on, you just cut your hair. Yeah. This could be a good night. Babe, no need to think twice. I will find it.
Are you retirement ready? Aware Super's free My Retirement Planner helps you see how much you'll need to retire and helps you plan on how to get there, whether retirement's 2 or 20 years away. Aware Super is super helpful.
Remember, we're just here for a tow ball. Oh. We might need to take this tow ball out for a test drive.
Find your O with a $1,500 finance deposit bonus across the Hilux range. Toyota.
Meet my boyfriend, Jake.
What's up, everyone?
What is all over your feet?
They're flowers. I study botany.
Resting dad face back there likes plants, too.
Grab some pruners. Let's prune.
Let's be honest. Puppies and kittens aren't always the most coordinated little suckers. But they sure make up for it with enthusiasm, which is why accidents happen, sometimes serious and expensive. Pet insurance can cover them for mishaps, however self-inflicted. And with Gap Only, your claim's sorted even before you leave the vets. Find a pet insurance provider at gaponly.com.au. Claim on the spot, less out of pocket. Long live you little uncos.
In the land of ice and snow,
Arendelle
we'll let it go!
Get a bonus Disney Worlds of Wonder collector card pack at Woolworths when you purchase 2 participating products from John West or Legos in a $30 shop. Start collecting today.
What's on this year's Melbourne Royal Show? Loads more animals, big and small. Show bags and carnival rides. More fun for all. Super dogs and a new motocross show. And more farm experiences to explore. A feast of food and fireworks. There's more after dark for sure. All of this and so much more at the 2024 Melbourne Royal Show. Early bird tickets on sale until the 22nd of September.
With Cold Power's unique cold water enzyme, clothes live on and on.
Thank God you're here, Captain.
You too.
Oh my God.
So I actually have vertigo, so this is actually really brave of me.
You're wicked, Erica.
Kids really relate to me rapping.
Look who's walking through the blue door. It's Ray O'Leary, Susie Youssef, Virginia Gay and Lloyd Langford. Thank God you're here on 10 and 10 Play. Find out what's behind the door. 7:30 tonight.
Melbourne's streets have been marred by a day of violence as protesters who claim to be anti-war clashed with heavily armed police in shocking scenes. Dozens of police have been left injured and dozens of charges have been laid. Samantha Butler joins us live now from South Wharf. Sam, the protesters were hoping to disrupt an international weapons expo there.
They were, Jen, but the Land Forces Expo went ahead as these violent scenes unfolded outside. The Police Chief Commissioner, Shane Patton, has labelled the activists who took part in today's protest as hypocrites, describing their behaviour as disgusting and appalling. He said for a group that claims to be anti-war, today's protest was certainly anything but peaceful. Police officers were pelted with rocks, bottles and manure. Some were also spat on and sprayed with acid. 24 officers needed medical treatment, while police horses were also targeted. 39 people have been arrested so far on a range of charges, including assault and arson. We know protesters had planned another rally for this evening, but that is now not going ahead. Instead, they say they are going home to rest and recuperate ahead of tomorrow. Today was expected to be the largest demonstration for the week, but we certainly haven't seen the last of these activists. Jen, they plan to continue to cause disruption over the next 2 days of this military expo.
OK, thank you, Sammy. Disgraced Indigenous leader Jeff Clark will find out within days whether he'll serve jail time on multiple theft and fraud charges. The 71-year-old was found guilty of turning his back on the community he represents, stealing almost $1 million from programs designed to advance the lives of Aboriginal people.
Disgraced and guilty. Once regarded as one of the nation's most senior Indigenous leaders, Jeff Clark has faced 3 trials since October.
All I have to say is my chukabara is strong.
The former Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Commission chair was found guilty of stealing almost $1 million from 3 organisations over the course of 15 years. Jeff, do you think these are fair charges? Most of the money went towards paying his personal legal fees for a civil court case over pack rape allegations, as well as criminal charges over a pub brawl. Clark's lawyer told the court these were fees that he could not otherwise pay. They did not go towards funding a lavish lifestyle. Clark was also found guilty of using stolen money to pay for his personal property's maintenance. His lawyer conceded it was a breach of trust that involved multiple acts of criminality. Jeff Clark's son, Jeremy Clark, was also found guilty of stealing $250,000. His lawyer told the court he did not get any benefit. Not $1 went into his pocket from his offending. Jeff Clark's defence painted him as a tireless advocate for Aboriginal rights, but the prosecution insisted that the money he stole came directly from a program intended to benefit people from his community. Both Jeff and Jeremy Clark will be sentenced at a later date. Sophie Jacobson for 10 News First.
And still to come, welcome home. Our Paralympians touched down with plenty of medals amid more calls for extra funding.
Hollywood hero Chris Hemsworth drops in. That's the project next.
every time you eat. Hey, stop it. There's a dog in your face.
Thursday, a goggle boxer gets help from the dog father.
You've got to be careful, he would break your finger.
Then more from the Pawsome Couch Critics. From 7:30 Thursday on 10 and 10 Play.
Where to from here? Will your life ever be the same? Are you getting what's fair, not just what's offered? Talk to Slater and Gordon, and we'll take it from here.
Honestly, Albie, HelloFresh has made planning feeding time as easy for us humans as it is for you guys. Look, you know I love you, Jarvis, but there's just no way you'd be able to get dinner on the table in under 20 minutes like this. Planning even just a few dinners a week with HelloFresh can help in a lot of little ways. Less stress, more variety, no one getting prickly about dinner. No offence. Beautiful. Where's mine? HelloFresh, hello dinner.
Time is luxury, which is why we spend it designing and refining to make the time you spend behind the wheel of a Polestar the best time of your day. Book your time with Polestar 3 at polestar.com.
Get Claritine for fast and non-drowsy allergy relief. No one covers more allergens. So whether it's indoors or out, you can be clear to enjoy the simple things. Feel the clarity with Claritine.
At Ring, we've reinvented the doorbell and reimagined home security. It's our smart, easy installing, home protecting, oh, no you don't, monitor from anywhere, even there, security camera watching, crime deterring, nibbly guest detecting, far out, delivery collecting, pet sitting, hey, security system. Pick up your Ring home security device and install today. Learn more at ring.com.
We'll set a course to the Death Star.
From Tatooine.
It's not too far.
Get a bonus Disney Worlds of Wonder collector card pack at Woolworths when you purchase participating products from Head & Shoulders or Pantene in a $30 shop. Start collecting today.
Whether it's the tricky way or the cheerful way, the weekday way or the your day way, however you enjoy it, life's a little more delicious than a Nutella-way.
You are my best friend and we've got some things to do.
Hester, super with impact.
When things collide, they make noise. Real noise. Noise loud enough to turn Tuesday into Taco Tuesday. Old El Paso, make some noise.
Maybe you keep your mouth shut. That's what you should do.
We're not on maths.
Yeah, you ain't swimming right now either.
There's mud, sweat and tears. 7 o'clock Sunday on 10 and 10 Play.
Are you facing the aftermath of a work injury,
a car accident,
or a painful slip and fall?
We specialise in work cover,
transport accident,
superannuation and public liability claims.
Call 1800 369 888 today.
Good evening, it's Ian in the Carbone Lawyers Traffic Centre, and it's a slow run outbound on the Westgate Freeway with a broken down truck after the Balti Bridge. Depending on what's happened, that truck could be taking up the left lane for quite a while. Through Ormond, there's been a crash on North Road as you're heading eastbound at Grange Road, and a couple of breakdowns affecting Eastlink at Ferntree Gully Road, one northbound in the emergency lane and one southbound in the centre median. I'm Ian Duguid in the Carbone Lawyers Traffic Centre. Drive safe and have a good night.
Thank you, Ian. Prince William was back on the job in Wales just hours after his wife Catherine's emotional video about her cancer journey was released. Clearly a favourite with the children in Llanelli, Wills was treated to a song in Welsh before heading outside to greet the locals. The overwhelming message from the community was one of love and respect for the Wales after Princess Catherine's heartfelt revelations about her cancer battle. Well, Australia has welcomed home the Paralympic champions with a roaring reception they'll never forget. There were tears of joy and pride from family and friends as athletes showed off some shiny gold hardware, having won the hearts of the nation in the process.
A welcome home like they've never had before. Our Paralympic athletes, 63 medals between them, back on home soil.
And this is an incredible reception. I think, we've never had anything like this.
Tim Hodge showed off his haul to his beaming mum, Cheryl. He won 2 gold and a silver in the pool.
It's really satisfying to come home with some hardware and to have something to show for all the years of hard training.
This was his dream and now he's fulfilled his dream.
Just one of dozens of athletes who brought home plenty of shiny excess baggage.
Yeah, my neck is still alright. I might have to get back to training tomorrow morning to release the neck muscles.
Team Jack Flash had a front row seat in Paris, cheering for their man, Jack Ireland.
Totally overwhelmed with it and how he's gone. He's just living his dream at the moment.
Our athletes are soaking up every bit of this incredible reception, and don't they deserve it? Whether they're bringing home a medal or not, they have inspired not only the nation, but our next generation of Paralympians. Some of them already have their eyes on the prize.
Oh, we better give you this back.
Those at the top want more funding for the champions of the future.
And we have home games coming in 8 years' time, so there's a lot of work to do.
We have provided record funding for para sports.
An investment worth the world to these champions and those yet to come. Taylor Ryan for 10 News First.
And as we get set for the AFL semi-finals, here's Stephen with Wednesday Sport.
Thank you, Jen. The Hawks select a 9-gamer for Friday's match as they look to erase their mid-season nightmare against the Power. We speak to the Cats' latest draft success story, the Giants veterans still dreaming of a flag, the latest from the Storm camp, the Socceroos underwhelm again, and Harry Kane celebrates his 100th game for England with a brace.
Hollywood superstar Jared Leto joins us right here at the desk.
In this house, anything can happen.
I am the Taskmaster.
Tom Gleeson is back.
Oh my gosh. OMG, yay.
New Taskmaster is coming to Tuesdays.
Where to from here? Will your life ever be the same? Are you getting what's fair, not just what's offered? Talk to Slater and Gordon, and we'll take it from here.
Fancy feast, culinary inspired, cat adored. Every delicious detail, every delicate bite brings you and your cat closer together. Fancy feast, love is in the details.
At Viking, we've thought of everything so you don't have to. Simply unpack once and we'll take care of the rest.
Viking's Fly Cruise sale is on now. For a limited time, enjoy free return flights to Europe. Book now at Viking.com or see your Viking travel agent.
NYC Spidey's Town. Shooting webs upside down. Get a bonus Disney Worlds of Wonder collector card pack at Woolworths when you purchase participating products from Gillette or Oral-B in a $30 shop. Start collecting today.
Oh, well, I've dedicated years to maintaining its condition. Its service history, spotless, washed twice a week, polished every night, and garage at a consistent 17 degrees.
It takes a certain type of owner to make it a Toyota certified pre-owned vehicle. Toyota certified, pre-owned in a class of its own. Toyota.
I'm coming in fast. First place, you coming in last. I'm hitting that gas. I'm hitting that loud commotion. We causing a commotion. I put it in, I put it in, I put it in motion.
Come on, brain, remember.
Yes, remember. Try Barocca Mind with Spanish Sage for enhanced memory and mental recall in 1 hour. Good luck.
For your exam. New Barocca Mind. Master your mind.
There is more support for Australians. Households will get a $300 electricity bill credit and eligible small businesses a $325 credit. Visit supportingaustralians.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
How was your promotion thing?
I don't know.
Well, I'm so proud of you, Dad. I got you something in the glove box. And before you ask, they didn't have fruit and nut.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Now, I'd like you to take extra special care of Mum.
Of course.
Like my car, Tyron Auto.
Get $100 off your next logbook service plus 17 cents per litre off Shell fuel when you book online. Get the care you deserve at My Car Tyron Auto. People first.
Thank God you're here, Captain.
You too.
Oh my God.
Tonight, what'll happen when Ray O'Leary, Susie Youssef, Virginia Gay and Lloyd Langford go through the blue door on Thank God You're Here.
Good evening. Jayde Sarong will replace Sam Frost in the Hawthorn backline for their semi-final clash with the Power. The 21-year-old comes in for just his 10th career game as the high-flying Hawks look to right the wrongs of their last Adelaide outing. A match, coach Sam Mitchell says, was one of the most heartbreaking he has experienced.
Sam Frost looked on from the sidelines as his Hawks prepared for their biggest match this season.
We're torn. You obviously can't replace exactly Sam Frost. He's been so important for us and he's had a fantastic season.
He's been huge on the field and he's been huge off it as well, so he's going to be a big miss.
Into his place comes Jayde Sarong for just his 10th senior game after stellar form in the VFL. Sam Mitchell confident the youngster will fit straight in before a hostile crowd at Adelaide Oval.
It'll be as loud as the MCG last week.
That place is going to be absolutely pumping, and I think last time we played them we just sort of said lean into it a little bit.
But last time, things didn't go to plan. The Hawks coughed up an 11-point lead in the last 40 seconds. Mitchell says his side has grown significantly since then.
So we haven't spoken about it specifically with the players this week. I might in the next couple of days. Haven't really decided just yet, but it was one of the more heartbreaking losses of my coaching career.
And so we learnt a lot from that game, and let's just hope that they don't beat us by 1 point again.
The coach expects Port will come out with some fire in the belly, eager to put the Cats' nightmare behind them.
Before they had one bad performance, and everyone's writing them off. So we need to not fall into the public persona and the public trap.
He doesn't think Jack Ginnivan's social media posts will provide the Power any more ammunition, as his four-time premiership teammate Luke Hodge suggested.
Hodgie's obviously from my old school days where I heard his comments, and I know that he's just trying to spur on the Hawks as he goes for us this week.
Sam Mills for 10 News First.
One of the real recruiting success stories at Geelong, Lawson Humphreys, has opened up about his first year as a senior player. The 21-year-old says his rise from the Waffle reserves to AFL finals is a credit to the Cats system.
Port Adelaide has to rethink a lot of things, and one of them might be the use of its unofficial anthem, Never Tear Us Apart, because it got the Cats up and about.
Well, for me it did. I was kind of singing it as I was going to the bench when we were going off, and I just found it really, it's just so cool, I think. And I'm probably a bit naive being so young and inexperienced, but I just enjoyed the experience.
Even by Geelong standards, Humphreys is an amazing success story. Plucked from the Swan District's reserves, he's become a senior regular in half a season.
I'm just really grateful for the opportunity. I mean, this time a year ago I was playing with Swan Districts in the Resi's finals, and I love that, and I love playing there at Swannies. But I think, playing in the AFL finals, it's just a different level. And
he says he's received some amazing support along the way.
Obviously, so many good development stories. So I think the club in general are really good. But yeah, Nigel Lapham was a huge player, I guess, in improving my game throughout the year. And then Zach Guthrie as well helped me a lot.
Humphreys is good on and off the field, batting away a question on Bailey Smith coming to the club.
He'd be a great player, but obviously, yeah, we're deep in a finals campaign, so I don't want to be going into it too much, and I don't really know much about it, so I'll leave Andrew Mackey to sort that out.
Rob Waters for 10 News First.
The Giants are urging fans to pack out their home ground on Saturday for their do-or-die semi. After a fade-out against the Swans still front of mind, a full 4 quarters will be needed against the pumped-up Lions.
We understand that we have a great opportunity to potentially lift the cup, but again, we've got to go the long way around, and we've got some quality opponents coming up.
The Giants have beaten the Lions twice this season. Melbourne Storm star Cam Munster has revealed he was so frustrated by injury earlier this year, he almost underwent season-ending surgery. The 5'8" missed 10 rounds as well as the Origin series due to groin and hip issues. But he says a trip to Fiji fixed the problem, and now he's ready to attack the finals.
Missing out of that Origin series might have been a blessing in disguise. It's been probably last couple of years has probably been a little bit flat going into the finals. So feeling fresh, ready to go.
The Storm host the Sharks on Saturday afternoon. It's a big week for Munster. Yesterday, his wife gave birth to baby Blake. Graham Arnold says he needs to do a lot of thinking after the Socceroos' goalless draw against Indonesia. The coach insists it's not a disaster, despite Australia now sitting second bottom of its group as it tries to qualify for the World Cup.
After a 0-0 draw, Graham Arnold seemed to be asking what many fans were.
How many chances do we create? How many chances do we get? And it's been a common theme for, over a year.
Many chances, but unable to put it in the back of the net. The Socceroos trying to walk away with the positives.
We've got to keep improving. I think we improved on the performance against Bahrain, and we've got to keep doing that now.
In front of a hostile crowd of 80,000 fans, the Aussies withstood an early onslaught from Indonesia.
An early chance, which Matt Ryan has to parry away and struck.
But as time wore on, the men in gold were building. A series of set pieces almost brought a breakthrough, but it was Nestori Irankunda who came closest.
Irankunda going to have a go from distance. Oh, and the goalkeeper got lucky. It hit the post and rebounded onto the back of the goalkeeper, and that could have gone anywhere.
Subbed on, Adam Taggart's effort was saved.
Will it sit for them here? Oh, and it's straight at Martin Pass.
The Socceroos take just 1 point from their opening 2 matches of round 3 in their World Cup qualifying campaign, with 8 games to play.
Second spot's on 4 at the moment, so it's not like it's a disaster, but I've got to go home and do a lot of thinking.
Nothing is ever given to you in life and in football, and we've got to do better in order to go and earn the results that's going to qualify us for this next World Cup.
4 weeks to reset before facing China, then Japan. Chloe Amanda Bailey for 10 News First.
Australia white ball captain Mitch Marsh says Josh Hazlewood will play the first of 3 T20s against England. Despite Pat Cummins, Mitch Starc and Glenn Maxwell not being there, there's no lack of bowling options.
As a captain and as a team, it's really beneficial bouncing in and out of different bowling options. So I think the more we can develop our young all-rounders and give guys like Aaron Hardy and Cameron Green more opportunity at this level, the better it'll be for us.
England will blood 3 debutants in the first match tomorrow in Southampton. A Tampa Bay temper tantrum ended in a fastball making contact with the batter and unleashing both the Rays and Phillies bench. Pitcher Edwin Usater claiming his wayward pitch wasn't intentional, but his victim was not convinced.
You're throwing a baseball over 90 miles an hour and you're frustrated and you're going to throw at somebody, That's like my 2-year-old throwing a fit because I take away his dessert before he's finished.
Yeah, Usater getting his just desserts, toss from the game, and our cherry on top is our spray of the day.
Bit of a Barricas voicer tonight.
No, I've got a lurgy, Jen. I need some Manuka honey.
I think your Hawks have a price to pay for this. Thank you, Stephen. Now here's Jayde with the weather.
Thanks, Jen. Just 13 degrees in the city tonight, but the rain is clearing. I'll have all the details in the 7-day forecast after the break.
$22 cases, $100,000 and one incredibly excited audience meeting at the time of their lives. That's the deal. Moments away on 7 and 10.
We can see more of the world than ever. With Bridgestone Tech Check, you see what needs repairing now and what can wait, so you can go with confidence. Bridgestone Select Tyre and Auto.
At Woolworths, enjoy great weekly specials this spring. Like Australian Fresh RSPCA approved chicken breast fillets bulk tray, now $9.50 a kilo, save $1.50 a kilo. That's today's fresh food, people.
I think it's fair to say we're not observing one of history's great navigators. Good thing navigating a budget direct insurance claim is smooth sailing.
Insurance solved with Budget Direct.
When things collide, they make noise. Real noise. Noise loud enough to turn Tuesday into Taco Tuesday. Old El Paso, make some noise.
Think of everything you could do with NIB.
You could use NIB rewards to get a discount on some new sneakers. You could get into running. With the time you save with telehealth and prescription delivery, you could really get into running. You could find the perfect physio and really get into running. You could even get discounted travel insurance. Let's just start with the sneakers. NIB, potentially amazing.
Don't let magic moments pass you by. Snapfish them. Snap it. Share it. Love it. With a Snapfish photo book.
Let this moment pass us by. Pass us by. I won't let this moment pass us by.
Snap it. Share it. Love it. With Snapfish photo books. Give the perfect gift. Visit snapfish.com.au.
Hear me.
Justin, you're on mute.
I think you're on mute.
Check out my background.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
The new loose change menu has dropped at Macca's.
7 o'clock Sunday, there's llama drama.
Llamas suck. Of course it's going to happen. We get the one broken llama.
Celebrity Amazing Race. 7 o'clock Sunday on 10 and 10 Play.
This weather report proudly supported by Paramount Plus. Catch a mountain of entertainment only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back. Tonight's weather report is live from the Regent Theatre ahead of the Australian Ballet's performance of Oscar on Friday night. Melbourne's morning low was 12 degrees. We hit a high of 20. Right now it's a cold 13 degrees outside. Showers and storms arrived by mid-afternoon in Melbourne. Let's take a look at our radar tonight. We've seen about 7 millimetres. So the CBD 9 millimetres over Watsonia and over the Dandenongs. About 5 millimetres hit the northern suburbs and there was plenty of lightning as well. Showers and storms fired up in the outer suburbs. We've seen maximum temperatures were achieved before the rain, ranging from 19 at Geelong to 21 at Scoresby. The morning started dry as the sun peeked through the clouds, a pop of colour at Cockatoo, grey skies at the Mornington Peninsula, where dolphins were spotted off Safety Beach. In the Yarra Valley, the Cherry Hill Blossom Festival is underway. In the regions, most of the action was along the southwest coast. Plenty of rain at Portland, more than 6 millimetres at Warrnambool. Winds strengthening this afternoon. Bairnsdale topped 20 degrees. In Sydney, it was dry and 23 today. Canberra was down to freezing point at sunrise. Hobart saw a millimetre of rain, 13 was the max. Adelaide also saw a few showers while the sun was out in Perth. On the satellite image tonight, a cold front has produced a cloud band over the nation's southeast, bringing showers to South Australia, Victoria and most of Tasmania. Storm clouds stretch from inland WA to New South Wales. On the synoptic chart, a high pressure system will move into the Bight tonight, clearing out the rain, extending a ridge over Victoria, bringing calm conditions to the state tomorrow, along with a cold southerly air mass. Troughs will trigger showers and storms north of the border into southeast Queensland, resulting in late showers for Brisbane tomorrow. 26, Hobart calm and partly cloudy for you. 15, Darwin unchanged at 36. Back home, most of the rain will clear tonight, but we can expect isolated